So moving on, then some other earnings reactions. Sun Pharma, the first management on the show, reported an inline quarter. Margins were aided by the global specialty sales and lower R&D. In fact, Vinny Motiwala caught up with CS Muralidharan, the group CFO, and began by asking him about the strong performance in the US market. Take a listen.
So our overall growth in the US we have seen in the current quarter has been good. The growth has been fueled with our specialty key products like Ilumya, Odomzo, Winlevi, Cequa, and all have contributed very well in the current quarter. And we continue to focus on strong execution, which has led to the overall scale of our specialty business over the years.
Okay, Muralidharan, if you could just talk to us about what is the growth ex Revlimid also?
We do not want to give any specific guidance for any product or product segment as such, excluding Revlimid.
Okay, so but overall the growth for Revlimid was strong this time. How could we be saying the performance was? Because I believe the last quarter wasn't as exciting in terms of Revlimid growth is what we're understanding. So any indication on that?
So we have already said in the earnings call yesterday that the sales of Revlimid in the US for Q2 was large as compared to Q1 of FY25. And the sale of the generic lenalidomide tends to be episodic and fluctuates between quarters.
Okay. What about, in a press release, you're highlighting about leveraging the cash position that you have in your books. One, what does it mean? And does that mean that you want to focus a bit more in terms of the specialty business? Is that how we should be looking at it?
Yeah, we will continue to focus on the core therapy areas for business development, example like skin, eye, and skin cancer. Overall, our net cash position at the end of H1 was approximately $2.6 billion, which gives us a position to undertake appropriate transactions.
Okay, but in terms of specialty business specifically, that accounts around, I believe, 10% of your profits right now. Do you see this reaching the 30% mark in the next 3 to 5 years? How will this also drive your margins, if you could give us an indication? Because specialty business obviously has better margins.
Yeah, see, net profit growth has been led by a sales growth as well as margin improvements. Our overall sales growth was broad-based, with most of our key geographies performing well, but India and US in particular. And the margin improvement is a result of our product mix leading to better gross margins.
Okay, but so specialty business, how do we see that moving and the margins going forward also, if the focus continues to be on specialty?
So just to reiterate, the global specialty sales for the current quarter was $286 million with growth of 19.2% year on year, which accounted for 18% of consolidated revenues. For the first half of the year, the global specialty business was $552 million, growth of 17% year on year. And all our key products in specialty portfolio are doing well, and we expect them to perform well in the coming quarters.
Okay, so this growth of 19% is something that is sustainable, and we will see further improvement and focus on this one. Okay, sir, but I want to know in terms of the research and development expenses and the spending. Obviously, you spoke about it in your con call that you have lowered the spending guidance to 7 to 8% for FY25 from previous 8 to 10%. One, does that mean the second half of the year we'll see an increased terms of spending? How does that work? And also in terms of, will we see a significant pickup in terms of clinical trials that had seen a delay also?
Yeah, see, some of our clinical trials for specific issues have been pushed ahead, which we have mentioned that they will be starting in later part of the current fiscal. And as a result, we have guided the revised guidance of 7 to 8% of sales for the full year as our R&D spend, which definitely indirectly means that in the second half we'll be spending much higher than the first half.
Okay, and just, when you talk about the company's research and development spend, right, when you look on the absolute term basis, it is a good amount that you look at it from the company's point of view, around 3,000 crores, versus peers who cannot be spending so much. So does that amount on absolute basis continue to be the strong going forward?
No, we have always mentioned that we'll continue to build our global specialty product portfolio, and we will not shy away from any compelling investments to make the portfolio very stronger.
Okay. And what about the outlook, especially coming in for the emerging market side as well as the rest of the world? And would the focus markets now come in? Which are the focus markets from the emerging market front?
See, there are certain 4 to 5 large markets out of the basket of complete emerging markets, namely Romania, Russia, Brazil, etc. And as such, we maintain our revenue growth guidance, which is high single digit given for the year.
Okay. And Illumya, you mentioned that you're seeing good growth there, good growth trends. Could you just give us a bit more highlight in terms of expected launches there, and plus an update in terms of the phase 3 trial for the new indication, which was for the psoriatic arthritis drug? Any update on that front?
So for the psoriatic arthritis, we expect the top line data by end of 25.
Okay. And what about anything else in terms of Illumya side? Any specific trend that you're seeing there? And do you expect it to be strong going forward?
No, we expect the specialty portfolio to continue to perform well, comprising of not only Illumya, Odomzo, Winlevi, Cequa, all have traction well, and we expect them to perform well in the coming quarters as such.
Okay, I just want to highlight in terms of Winlevi also. How is the growth here, and what are we seeing in terms of an improvement in terms of your prescriptions on that front? Are you seeing a sequential improvement there?
Winlevi continues to perform well, and it meets our expectations.
Meets your expectations, and if you could just highlight what was the expectation that you're keeping for the Winlevi?
So we are consciously work towards improving the realization per prescription, and it is working well.
Okay, so you are seeing an improvement in terms of realization per prescription because that was the change in strategy. So yes, that is something that you're watching out for. And just lastly, if you could just give me a highlight in terms of the Leqselvi litigation that is going on. Any update on that front, or what are we watching out for? Because if there's a delay, then I believe December 26 is what we're watching out for in terms of the launch here.
So as the matter is currently sub judice, we will be unable to comment any further on this litigation.
The management of Sun Pharma there in conversation with Vinny. The stock currently trading at the lowest point of the day, 2% lower at 1865. Take a short break. Corporate